Alright, what up everybody? So we got a movie review tonight, and tonight we're going to be reviewing 21 Bridges. Now, 21 Bridges, what really drew me to this movie is the fact that not only did it have Chadwick Boseman, which I have a lot to say about in 1 second, but it's also produced by the Russo brothers. And the last time these two kind of hooked up, things were really good in the box office in Avengers Endgame. So it was interesting because we got to see the Russo brothers, who traditionally have done superhero movies, now doing a little bit of something different here. And this movie is all about crime. We got drugs, the streets of New York, cops, and all that other good stuff. So it was a good, like, really diverse change for what they really typically are accustomed to, and I was interested in seeing how it was going to play out. So this movie comes out the 22nd, so the end of this week, and yeah. But let's talk about it. First of all, Chadwick Boseman. We're talking about Mr. Biopic himself, because he's done played Jackie Robinson, James Brown. I mean, Thurgood Marshall. I mean, you name it. If there's a black biopic that needs to be done, Chadwick Boseman is your guy. But Prince T'Challa himself is or King T'Challa himself is in this movie, and now he's a detective of a bloodline of cops in New York City. His dad was just recently slain, and ever since that, he's just had this DNA in his body to continue to represent law enforcement in his family. And now we've seen him grown up, and now he's a detective in the streets of New York. First thing I want to say is the first 5 seconds of this movie was damn near urban Black Panther. I'm just going to say that off break, and once you see it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, it literally is like first 5 seconds, like, oh, this is updated 2019 urban Black Panther. Also, too, to be quite frank, for all us Avengers and Marvel fans, there is legit some Marvel references in this movie. I for sure know I remember two very vaguely. Excuse me, I remember two very distinctively, and maybe I'm not totally sure, but yeah, there is some Marvel references in this movie. For sure. Matter of fact, the opening monologue is absolutely talking about it speaks to, like, if you didn't know no better, it literally speaks to the fact of it potentially being a Marvel movie. That's why I say, like, it's damn near opens up as urban Black Panther in New York City. But so 21 Bridges references the title, which, to be honest, I don't even know why this movie is called 21 Bridges, because it just wasn't enough for me for it to be named that, as far as everything that this plot kind of like brought together. But 21 Bridges nonetheless refers to the 21 bridges in the 21 bridges that connects to Manhattan, New York. Yeah, that's all I have about that. But I will say that this movie, outside of, the death of his dad, and he's really having to carry his dad's burden and legacy on his chest, my next thing I would say is that this movie really, the tone gets automatically intense. It's automatically set right away. But yeah, talking about Chadwick Boseman, and we're going to talk about his character in a second, like, another thing that really drew me to this movie that I need to remember and say real quick before I get too far into this discussion is that, so the last movie Chadwick Boseman I seen in, besides, Marvel stuff, was A Message from the King, which I saw it on Netflix. I'm not even sure if that's a Netflix exclusive or not, but I was not a fan at all. And he was some type of, like, pseudo cop or whatever, looking for his sister, whatever the plot was, whatever. The fact that you put him and the Russos together, really, the chemistry is just really good. And you can see that they know how to position him to be very spectacular in his roles. That the fact that if you take one type of cop movie and another type of cop movie, they are totally different. Like, it's not even close how different the movies are as far as his performance itself. Like, it just, the margin is just way out of there in the differences. But Chadwick Boseman plays Andre Davis, who I say is the detective. You got some other people in here as well too. J.K. Simmons, who played Captain McKinnon. Stephen James, who plays Michael. And there's some other people and so forth. But let's talk about, a little bit about what this plot is. Now, like I said, this movie came off to me like a thriller, mystery, action movie with crime and drama. It was just a lot of all that going on. But so Chadwick Boseman character Andre Davis, who is he's a New York City he's a New York City detective. And so come to find out that there was two criminals. They were going to rob somebody for their drugs, and ended up becoming a way bigger thing than they could even imagine it was going to be. Everything about this was just all funky or whatever. So Andre Davis, he's on a massive manhunt trying to figure out who these two killers are, because they had slain 7 cops. But while doing all this is happening, he finds out that there's like a massive conspiracy going on as well. So the movie takes you on an adventure of just not only the manhunt of these two guys within New York City, which is just entertaining, but it also adds a lot of twists and turns and everything. Because, like, to be very, very honest, like, the movie almost could have ended 1 hour in. Because I literally was like, oh, I can't believe this is happening at this point. And I look at the clock, it's like, there's no way this is over. So, but immediately after that hour mark, the movie just goes into this, like, really spectacular turn of events. And it just makes the action and everything just so much more. Like, Pandora box is literally opens up as, like, the second and third act. Once they start taking off, the action, everything just gets lit. The action, the score, just the unpredictability, everything just ups the ante. And it just makes really just a really, like, good, like, overall movie. I think the movie's only like an hour and a half, if I'm not mistaken. But it's an hour and 39 minutes to be exact. But the movie's just, the pacing and everything from top to bottom is just so good. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. My only complaints is that I just don't know why it was called 21 Bridges. Because, like, yeah, sure, in the eye of trying to hunt down these people in the manhunt, they shut down 21 bridges. But they also shut down 3 rivers and 4 tunnels. And to be honest, since we're throwing out numbers and stuff right now, there's a lot of mathematicians in this movie, because everyone knew their drug calculations off the top of their head, like how much somebody owed them. I mean, people were just throwing numbers out like left and right. I was like, wow. It's like, maybe that is how it is on streets. I don't know. But nonetheless, this movie's great. I had a really good time. I was looking forward to it. I'm glad to deliver. It's glad to see that not only can Chadwick Boseman step outside of Black Panther and being an African-American biopic master, that he can actually execute a detective movie, a cop detective movie, because that last attempt of whatever that was not good to me. And on the other hand, the Russos in the producer role was able to step outside the superhero genre and produce an action crime drama movie. So everyone wins, and I think absolutely the fans wins as well, because the movie is very entertaining. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, stay subscribed. We got more movies coming to you really soon. Stay locked. Big gold bell.